Profile share via email report story. Final chapter. Together forever. 2 years later. Izuku properly fixed his tie as he stared at himself in the mirror. He carefully checked his uniform to see if it looks perfectly presentable. As he reassured his appearance, he went over to his bed. He then took a glimpse of the photo of her again. A smile was always plastered in his face whenever he looked at it every time. After that, he grabbed the black cloak on his bed and went out of his room. He was ready for the day of graduation. 1, 2, 3, say cheese. Izuku smiled widely at the camera, next to his mom as the photographer took a photo of them. He readjusted his black cloak along with his mortarboard on his head. Congratulations, the photographer told as he gave him the photo that was taken. Thank you, Izuku told Midoriya. Kaminari called the guy from afar as he ran after him. Kaminari, he called back. The yellow-haired asked, have you seen Jiro? We were supposed to take a photo together. He looked pretty worn out from running around searching over the place, looking for Jiro. Izuku shook his head in response. I don't think so, he said. Why aren't you taking one with your mom? I told her to let Jiro join in too. He answered, clasping his hands together with a blush in his cheeks. You selfish brat, take one with your mom alone. Kaminari pouted, sadly, but I won't get to see Jiro after this. Hey, Midoriya, let's take a photo together. Todoroki requested as he clinged his arm around his shoulder suddenly. Izuku grunted from the force he put. Sure. Todoroki took out his phone and raised it in the air and took one selfie with Izuku and Kaminari. After that, he called the rest of his friends. Iida, Tsuyu-chan, Tokiyami, Momo, all of them, who were together, looked over at Todoroki and went to him. He raised his phone once again and took another one with the rest of the group. Suddenly, a certain pink-haired girl jumped in and hugged Iida from the back. Me too, Arg, Iida screamed, and as soon as he did, the photo was taken with Iida's shocking expression in it. Hatsume. Iida-kun, can I go to your house later? But why? Hatsume replied, because I won't be seeing you in a long time after this. Iida's mouth soon slowly formed a thin line and looked away. Sure, he muttered. Hatsume's eyes shone with sparkles and leaned closer to him. Really? Todoroki laughed. Iida, look at you. I'm gonna keep this. Hey, let's take one more, Iida said. Hey, guys, congratulations in graduating. Ojiro suddenly joined the party along with Hagakure by his side. Congrats, everyone. Hagakure said as well with a smile on her face. Hagakure, Ojiro, congratulations as well, Izuku told. Congrats, Todoroki said as well with a thumbs up and a warm grin. Promoted stories. You'll also like Hikari. Open hollow corner bracket volume 2 Omake's close hollow corner bracket. 7.5K 196. Blank, underscore, blank, end quote. This is the story of how we all became the greatest heroes. End quote. Blank, underscore, blank. Lover's Day. Izuku Midoriya x Reader x Bakig. 182K 6.1K. Valentine's Day competition. At Your Hero Academia. What will happen when an innocent holiday becomes a vicious competition? Friends become rivals. Rivals remain something unforeseen. Completed. 14.5K 402. Izuku Midoriya is a young high schooler who oftentimes keeps to himself, and he enjoys this tranquil lifestyle. He enjoys comic books and keeps his grades up and is your. Get a hint, will you? 3.4K 46. Hey everyone. This is actually my first story, so I really apologize for any spelling, grammar mistakes. Completed. There will be bonus chapters, though. Related and not. A Hero's Love Desire. 3.7K71. It's almost Valentine's Day and Izuku Midoriya, Deku is starting to realize that he has a crush on Ochako Uraraka, but he doesn't know if she feels the same way. He tries. Look at me. Bakugo X Reader. 331K 9.8K. You spent your childhood defending your best friend, Izuku, claiming that one day the two of you will be a pro hero duo, not caring that your friend is quirkless. While I Hate and Love You. 249K 4.6K. An Izwocha fanfiction where Deku and Uraraka had a fight in kindergarten which led to something worse. But maybe they can be friends or perhaps more. Non-Quirko rated, Kaminari said out of the blue. Guys, where's Jiro? His voice was so dull and he whined like a baby. I don't know, try checking in class. She might be there. Tokiyami told. Kaminari furrowed his brows and looked irritatingly at him. This better be not another scheme of yours, Tokiyami. Tokiyami scoffed under his breath and looked away. Suyu giggled behind him, covering her mouth to not let him witness her laughter. It's been 2 years, Tokiyami. You have made fun of me for the 137th time. Kaminari told angrily. The others laughed along. Izuku did it as well, and as they finished, a certain person joined them. Hey, everyone. Kirishima came with Bakugo behind him. Congrats. Congratulations to you too. Izuku congratulated him as well. Bakugo muttered. Why are we here? Kirishima pouted. Why not? I just want to talk to everyone before we part our ways. Alright then, I'm leaving. He then stepped back. The red-haired showed a shocked look. Wait, fine. He looked over to the rest of them. Sorry, guys, congrats once again. He then chased after Bakugo. Does Bakugo still hate you? Todoroki asked him. Izuku shrugged. I'm not so sure. He then chuckled a bit. The rest of them were having their own conversation with one another. Todoroki asked him something again. Hey, Midoriya, how's you and Uraraka? Izuku widened his eyes with the sudden question. What do you mean? Are you guys good? He looked away from Todoroki. Yeah, we still talk. Why didn't you visit her sometime? He then looked back at him. I already told you this. She lives in the other side of Japan and she studies in an all-girls school. It isn't that easy. I have to study here as well. Todoroki sighed slowly after that before replying. That's pretty sad. Those 2 years you both could have spent together here didn't happen. Izuku chuckled at the comment. I guess so. We will see each other again, right? Midoriya. A person called from the back. Izuku turned to follow the voice and saw Jiro behind him. Jiro. Kaminari called out loud, happily with tears in his eyes as he reached her to give her a hug. The rest of the group followed. Kaminari gave a sweet hug to Jiro. Where did you go? He asked. Jiro blushed embarrassingly from Kaminari's hug to her in public. Midoriya. Yeah, she went closer to whisper something to him but Kaminari didn't let go of her. She sighed and gave up so she decided to just say it softly at him. Go to the rooftop now, she said. Both Kaminari and Todoroki looked puzzled with the sudden and vague notice. Same goes for everyone and Izuku. What do you mean? He asked. But a good few seconds later, he widened his eyes and finally got the idea of it, and no way. It can't be. Jiro smiled at him, showing him that he was right with his answer. She's waiting. His eyes soon saddened but filled with relief and happiness inside of him. This didn't feel real to him. She is here. Izuku couldn't move, his body completely frozen and didn't have time to progress and run. It just felt too impossible by the thought of her just here in the same area, not so far from him. Todoroki placed his hands on his shoulders. Come on, Midoriya. Don't make a girl wait. T. Todoroki, he called, looking at him with a big smile on his face. Kaminari said as well, it's been years since you guys seen each other. What are you waiting for? Izuku called him as well. Kaminari, he felt glad. Everyone, thank you. He squinted his eyes and started running out of the hall as he made his way to her. He ran as fast as he could like never before. This was unbelievable. The fact that he was going to finally see her. It felt like a dream. He passed by the corridor and made it to the stairs and used all his strength to run up the flight of stairs. He wants more time with her up there. Every second counts. He was panting as he ran up. Going up the rooftop felt longer and farther than he thought before. It was like time is flying away so quickly from him. He reached the top and opened the door. Ochako, he called loudly as soon as he opened. But all he received in return was the sound of the cold breeze brushing against his body. The atmosphere was too quiet. Wasn't she supposed to be here? The wind was rather strong, enough for the leaves to be blown away, passing by Izuku's body. He walked forward, at the same time, checking left and right. No sign of her. Was this all just a dream? He might even forget how she looked like. His eyes full of worries, including a slight hint of fear. But his eyes were soon covered by a sudden hand from the back. It was such an abrupt action, he gasped sharply with the feeling. Long time no see, the sweet feminine, angelic voice rang into Izuku's ears, which made his whole body shivered and full of goosebumps. His heart skipped a beat and his blood flowing rapidly around, making his heart beating at maximum speed as it reached its limit. This is really happening. The voice he longed for. Such a long time, he badly wants to see that person already. But he didn't want to rush it, but still, he really can't wait. Deku-kun. She continued, his mouth trembling slightly, including his eyes as tears began to come out. He couldn't take it, he wants to see her. Soon, she removed her hands away from his eyes. He opened it and immediately turned back. There she was, standing right in front of him. Giving a smile. The smile he missed in person. The smile he wanted to see in ages. The smile that could send him into another world full of wonders. He couldn't imagine it was Ochako. His eyes couldn't believe it's her he's seeing right here. Congratulations. Still, no words. Hello. Did something happen? She waved her hands in front of him. But immediately, he hugged her right in the spot. He made it tighter and tighter, to see if this was real. This is no joke. She was the real deal. Ochako widened her eyes with the sudden action, but slowly, she set her arms around him and hugged him back. Ochako, Ochako, Ochako. He said her name a lot. I miss you. I miss you so much. He said in a high-pitched tone as his voice cracked, almost having the urge to cry. Ochako's eyes squinted slowly, as tears formed in her eyes as well when she heard the tone in his voice. She scorned at herself and whimpered, I miss you, too, Deku-kun. She tightened the hug even more and buried her face in his shoulders and began to cry. It's been a couple of seconds until they broke the hug to see each other again. They both calmed down their cries and looked at each other intently after. He still couldn't believe she was right here. He suddenly took a glimpse of her hair. Oh, Ochako, he called. Your hair got longer, he commented with a short chuckle as he smiled. Ochako laughed a bit as well and brushed her hair with her hands softly. Why yeah, I haven't cut it in a while. Izuku spoke. Never seen you in a long time. I know right, she responded. Did you ever grow? Why are you so short? I idiot, it's because you've grown too tall. She slightly punched him on the chest multiple times as he started laughing. As she continued to do that, he swiftly grabbed onto her wrists and stopped her. She gasped and widened her eyes as though soon to bulge widely when he started drawing his face closer to her. And I've never kissed you in a long time. Her face soon blushed red crimson. This Izuku seemed rather different than before. He was more straightforward than he usually was. Deku-kun. What is all of this all of a sudden? One of his brows raised up and showed a confused expression. Why you don't wanna kiss anymore? Her eyes widened again and she started laughing in front of him. It is true. Why you never change? He pouted at her. When she stopped laughing, she looked back at him. Why kiss now? We didn't even say it. Say what? I love you. He asked. She furrowed her eyebrows. Obviously, now you just ruined the mood. He closed his eyes as he smiled along with his eyebrows saddening. Sorry. She pouted as she smiled. It's okay. Say it anytime you want. Ochako, I love you. Idiot. Not now, but you said anytime. I know. But, the right time. She whined and looked down slightly. Izuku sighed as he gently placed his forehead on hers. She gasped slightly. So, how's school? It was so sudden. But she just followed along. It's okay. Just one more year until it's my turn to graduate, she answered. How about you? He hummed before proceeding. Managed to get good results and got recommended in a school in college. She closed her eyes and smiled. As expected from you. It was fun these past 2 years. But the thought of you not around always makes me feel lonely at times. Her face was surprised, which turned into a sad expression. I feel the same way. Really? Do you have new friends? She nodded. Yeah, I managed to meet some. He smiled. That's good. How about you? How's things going with you and Bakugo? Really, you have to bring that up. He said. Well, we're okay. I think for me only. But he isn't dragging me at the back to give me a beating, so I assure you we are okay. She laughed softly. Sorry, you had to go through that. It's fine, he told. So, how's your studies? Are your grades maintained? I guess so, I think average. He smiled. Want me to teach you? She smiled as well with a confused look. Teach me, are you going to my place? Maybe. She smiled even wider with the words he said. Hey, Deku-kun. Yeah, do you love me? He laughed a bit. You dummy, of course I do. She pouted again. Say it properly. He chuckled after that. Ochako, I love you so much. She opened her eyes and grinned sweetly. I love you too, Deku-kun. Their eyes met and their cheeks were burning red. His face then went closer, but she went even faster, which caught him by surprise. Their lips made contact as they smoothly and gently caressed each other. Izuku's hand followed to her cheeks and placed it there to deepen the kiss. It was a calm and soothing one, and it made the atmosphere feel warm even with the strong breeze brushing against their skin. They let go and smiled widely with their cheeks burning. They were still embarrassed by just a kiss after such a long time since they've done it. Their faces drifted away from each other as they look at each other's eyes. I missed that. She nodded. Me too, she said. Do it again. Izuku blushed with the words as his mouth squirmed. Oh, okay. His lips went closer again and placed it on her soft plumed ones. Honestly, this felt like heaven to Izuku. Having to kiss her was his cure to happiness. He doesn't want this to end. They both kissed once more and it made everything better. Nothing calms them more or makes them happy than a kiss from each other. Their lips parted and they stared at each other intently one more time. Hey, Deku-kun. Yeah, is there any place you wanna go now? When she said that, she took the mortarboard on his head and wore it. She then took a step back and spun around. He widened his eyes and laughed when she did that. It was so cute. Anyways, we still have to celebrate for your graduation. He laughed at her. Sure, sure. Where do you want to go? I don't know. It's your graduation. It's your choice. He smiled. All right then. Why not go to our friends first? I bet they all want to see you. She giggled at him. Okay, okay, she told. She then made her way to him and intertwined each other's hands. Let's go. He grinned at her back. All right. They both walked towards the door to see the others down the hall. She then called, Hey, Deku-kun. He looked at her as they walked. I'm glad you kept your promise. She grinned at him with a cute view for him to see. He couldn't help but a smile formed in his lips. Yeah, let's be together forever, Ochako. End. A.N. And the story has finally come to an end. There will be an epilogue. But not too soon, sad face. I have to start my work with Killing Addict. Maybe 2 weeks. Sorry. Once again and one last time, thank you, everyone, for always being there for me and always supporting this book until the very end. It has been a wonderful journey and experience with this, and I just want to say that this will be the most unforgettable thing I have ever done. Hope you enjoyed this story. Thanks for your support. Love y'all so much, heart. End. Where stories live. Discover now.